Today I wanted to go over something about one of the fundamentals of business that works for us and what we're doing with this fundamental pillar of business, which I will never not use in the future. And so today I just wanted to go over a little bit about that, what that is. Guys, I make these videos for free. If at any time you want me to go into more detail about something in a video that you hear, or I'm just sort of spitballing here and I sort of make these videos in a way, the topics of what I choose, it's just more or less surveying what might be interesting for people to hear more about. And speaking of surveys, I wanted to talk about surveys in business and why they are super important. And just go over, I'm just going to go over just some fundamentals of surveys and how we use them in our business. And what are some of the successful things that we've done with surveys. So why you should use surveys in your business. First of all, if you have at least one product in your business already that is selling, you should be doing surveys. In fact, you should be doing surveys before you even release your first product, even if it's just a handful of people. But what you want to do is you want to find out from your target audience, the point of a survey is not to find out what is needed and wanted necessarily. It's the point of a survey fundamentally is you want to find out who your target audience is, and then you want to find out what their obstacle or barrier or ruin, they use all three of those words and more can be used, but you want to find out what is blocking the person from achieving their goal. So you want to find out what their goal is, and then you want to find out what is stopping them from getting to that goal. And I'm going to give you guys a big secret that not a lot of people know about with surveys. Oftentimes it is not the thing that the person says directly that is actually their true barrier. And what I mean by that is, as an example, in surveys, especially you want to use surveys for premium products. Now, premium means high end. So you don't want to necessarily be using a survey for a cheaper product or an intro product. I mean, you can, but we found where the actual money is you want to use a survey for a high-end product, which then leads to a sales call or some type of sales cycle. So, ideally the product is going to be $1,500 and above for a premium product, depending on what the product is and a lot of other factors. But coming back to what you're trying to find out on the survey, especially if it's a premium product that you're surveying. So let's say you're trying to find out from a customer, like, what is the thing you want to ask them? What is the thing that's blocking you from achieving your goals, right? Is there any reason, why you couldn't buy today, right? And a lot of times you'll get some type of objection, or they will tell you what their barrier is, or what their ruin is, or what their obstacle is, right? And a lot of people will just say money or no money. They'll say something very trite like that. And oftentimes, this is where you or your salespeople have to use their own evaluative measures. And this comes after you look at a lot of surveys, and when somebody says, I don't have any money, and that is the biggest barrier as to why I can't achieve my goal of underwater basket weaving, because I don't have the money to buy the supplies. A lot of times that is actually not the real barrier, and you want to get to the core of what it is. You don't so that's whenever, if they say it's about money, okay, cool, something about money, let's find out what it actually is. So that's when this is going to take some finesse, and it comes with just some experience on the phones with your salespeople. And they start the sales cycle and they're talking to the customer and they say, so I noticed on your survey you said that, you need more money, or you don't have money, or something like that. And I was just wondering if you could tell me a little bit more about that. Again, you don't want to try to evaluate for these people, and you don't want to invalidate them as well. You just want to say like, hey, I noticed you said this on your survey, and would like a little bit more information on that, or could you tell me a little bit more about that? And I lost, I just got fired from my last job, and I'm sort of in transition, and money's kind of tight right now, and I've got this side thing going with a friend, but that's kind of like gig work, and it's kind of on the weekends. And so after a while you'll get to the core, and when somebody says no money or I don't have money, really what they're getting at is their main barrier is they have an inability to make money. That's the actual barrier that they have for themselves. They think they have this inability to make more money, and that is what's keeping them from really soaring in life or achieving their goal, whatever it is they want to do. So you have to get them to see that it's not that they don't have money, it's that they have this belief the belief is, I don't think, or I fear that I have this inability to generate enough income to support myself. Or it could be a number of things like that, but you have to get to the core of that on the sales cycle, and then you have to handle it. And you also have to, especially with products that are like, I work with do a lot of products for like artists and stuff. So it's funny, but artists are the people who change the world. And the funny thing is, if you look at a lot of artists' lives, I don't think anybody is more invalidated in life than artists are. And so people have this huge button on being an artist. And especially on a sales cycle with somebody who's investing in some type of course where they can learn how to paint or take photography, or learn how to play a musical instrument or anything like that. And it's a premium product. It's a couple $1,000 or whatever it is to join. And they have this belief that they can't invest the money in a program that could potentially change their life because they've been so invalidated as artists. And so this is a little bit of a talk. I'm sort of getting into the weeds here, but it's all part of this same cycle of surveying and then getting them on the phones after the survey. You sometimes have to rehabilitate the person's own ability to believe in themselves again. And the only way that they're going to do that is they have to buy your product, because that is the way that they're going to believe in themselves again. Why did you stop believing in yourself? When are you going to do this? When are you going to pull the trigger, man? Are you going to let another year go by, or 3 years, or 5 years? You've said you've been wanting to do photography for 10 years now. We've had people in our program make 6 figures a year after the first year, having a great career as a photographer, taking photos of luxury hotels, literally traveling all over Europe. These are some things that we handle with some of our people. And so I'm just saying that as that is why surveys are so important, is because it allows you to get into communication with your customers, not only see what is helping them, what their goals are, what their struggles are, what their barriers are, what beliefs or character traits or or tools that they're lacking that could help them. And once we started implementing this in our businesses with surveys, and the technology of using surveys goes deep, and I could do another video on that, like the actual structure of how to structure a survey, because we've done so many tests on surveys. There's a right way to do it, and there's a very wrong way to do it. You will have a lot of people fall off. And there's actually, I love this quote. I forgot who said it, but the quote goes, I think it was John Maxwell who said, "You cannot underestimate the unimportance of almost everything." And it's a little bit like the Pareto's principle, right? Like the 80-20 rule. There's only 20% of questions on a survey that are probably the most important. You can get rid of a lot of questions on a survey, and if you just ask the important ones, the ones that will give you the right data, to where when you get on the phone with your customer and you're talking with them, you can find out, okay, what is their barrier? What are they trying to achieve? How much money are they willing to invest money? Because you don't want to get on a phone with somebody who is saying that they're not the decision maker and they don't have the money and they're not willing to invest, right? It's one thing if they don't have the money and they're willing to invest, but it's another thing if they don't have the money and they're not willing to invest. So I kind of wanted to go over that one little piece of survey data that we had. Remember, whenever somebody gives you their barrier that they're facing, it is oftentimes a lot more specific than that. And that finding out what that is will unlock their ability to believe in themselves again. If you handle it right, if your salespeople handle it right. Remember the example I talked about with the person who said, I don't have money, or no money. Whenever in actual fact, what they mean is, I have this belief that I have an inability to make more money. And if you can handle that, if you can handle things like that, it's all about finding out what that barrier is and then really, really confronting the customer is what it actually is. You have to confront them on why they have this belief. And then you need to shatter it in a way that doesn't invalidate them or anything like that. And you have to get them to shatter it, and get them to believe in themselves again. That's kind of what surveys are good for. You'll also see a lot of your customer success go a lot higher. You'll get a lot more testimonials. Customer satisfaction goes up. Trust me, when somebody, when somebody talks to a real person at your business, and a lot of people want to talk to a person when they're spending a couple $1,000 for a product. So, it's good to have these things in your business. You don't need a lot of salespeople. You just need one or two, and they can handle hundreds of surveys, per day. So I'll go into more detail into some stuff. Leave your comments below if you want me to go into detail. If you found any of this interesting, let me know. I'll, definitely take any suggestions. I'm surveying you guys to get more ideas for YouTube videos. But that's all for today. Just wanted to make this quick video, and that's it for now.